about 5 out of 7 you're getting a progression item right off the bat, which I think is part of why these seeds have been going decently quick.
Yeah, and here we go.
Uncle's going out chasing tail.
Leaving 1 rupee behind for Link.
How kind of him. That's really going to help out.
Hey, you never know. I have seen a race where a runner went to Carico with 49 rupees and farms for the last rupee for quite a while.
That sounds pretty reasonable. We're about to find out what Uncle has to offer today.
Well, here's your Samaria.
There it is indeed. That is a very fun weapon to have early. Only helps out if, progression-wise, if Meyer and TR are required.
As we walk towards the castle, our tracker today is Dude the Dude. Herreteman attempt to pull tree, but you cannot do that during a rain state.
Yeah, it's one of those quirks that, if you've played a lot of open, kind of takes some getting used to. So you're used to just getting to that tree and pulling it. Strumpet just letting that block do its job without ever exploding it, whereas Herreteman is using the explosion strats.
Saving a few seconds.
Yeah, each Samaria block can hit 5 times, so there's kind of a balance between conserving magic by only using one of them and conserving time by letting it explode and do the damage that way. The guard's AI is really not very smart. Just keep running into the thing that's killing you.
The best way to see how stupid the AI is using the bombs and using the chest to place the bomb and look and run towards you straight into the chest and the bomb.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. So Strumpet is not using the kind of optimal Samaria strats on the ball and chain guard here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult this way.
I really just forgo the use part of Samaria and have the deputy comes from the pot.
Yeah, there's a real nice way you can do it with, as you're walking up, you drop 3 blocks and fire them, and that pushes the guard into the corner. And then you put a block right next to him that traps him in the corner, and he just takes the 5 hits from that. It's real smooth to pull off.
As we walk towards the throne room, Strumpet has more magic if he wants to farm some mouse and rats for the bomb drop towards the end of escape. Herod has a few magic pots in the sewers for him, but that will take time and we'll see if he gets them or not.
Yeah, the little bit of time save with using the projectiles there so much might come back to bite him if he doesn't go for that magic and can't kill any rats or ropes on the way. These two are pretty much exactly tied moving through escape here, though.
Yep. Friend sync the screen transfer.
Item-wise, escape has been pretty much garbage so far. Nothing worthwhile at all, really.
Strumpet tries to use a block to hit the ropes, but only hits one of them.
Yeah, that block combined with the RNG of where the snakes ended up on that path was pretty much the worst possible scenario there.
Go to the red room. Let's see how they get.
Everyone's favorite part of New Standard, Key Rat. Oh dear.
Less block. He got a red, but lose a little time. Neither player got a bomb drop, so they will have to complete this place later after power glove.
Or in the worst case scenario, to get their first power glove by walking all the way back through the sewers.
Herreteman pulls a wrong. Pulley he has ropes from Sky for his trouble, and he has half a heart left, and takes a
Oh,
death.
taking the death. There are silver arrows in Sanctuary.
Well, oh, back here? Wow, that's a lot of time lost.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, it pushes you way back to the manual. It does give him a little bit of magic if he wants to farm for bombs, but I feel like that might have been a little bit of a nerves thing, just having that moment of doing what you're not used to doing.
Yeah. I don't think he played much standard because from the tree pool to the round pulley, I don't think he is familiar with this part of the game.
Yeah, it could definitely be a thing where it's a little bit of unfamiliarity with the escape sequence after playing a lot of open or various modes in the same vein.
Big 20 on Lumberjack, so Aga is not required there.
Yep, still might end up required, but not for the tree at least. They can rest easy on that part.
Strumpet takes a death in Lost Woods.
Well, that kind of balances them back out in terms of time, in all honesty, since he hadn't even gotten to the items in Lost Woods. Now they're pretty much right back to even.
Yeah, back to Sanctuary for both of them.
Trying to walk between the priest and the chest there, there's not actually room. I believe once you leave and come back, there is room to walk in that little space, but the first time you're there, they're up a little bit higher. Looks like Herete is going to go up and check the lumberjack tree as well, find out that the big 20 is up there.
Meanwhile, Strumpet back to Lost Woods. Arrow for our tree pool. I don't know how tiers were after the death, so I'm not going to know. I don't know which tier that was.
That should still be tier 3. The counts of kills and everything persist through death.
Oh, I think you mean tier 2 then, because they obviously took a hit somewhere.
Oh yeah, I definitely meant to. Sometimes brain farts. So we're going to be getting the Caprico check going over here on Strumpet's side. Still no bombs and not quite money for it. He could go to the 50-50 bush down here.
So he's checking the bar first, hoping to have some bombs or money here. Hey, big 20, just enough to buy bombs.
Yep, exactly what he needed. You could still make an argument for going for the 50-50 bush and restock shed, but buying bombs is so much faster. just going to be hoping to get about 2 big 20s throughout these 13 item locations to buy the bottle vendor item.
You need 100 rupees. After buying bombs, he has 11 left. Herod is going to have. Well, speaking of bombs, Herod is going to have 32 left after buying bombs. So they both could use some money in Kakariko.
Yeah, you can get the 50 between Blind's Hut and Kakariko Well, so as long as you can get up to 50, you're fine for a bottle vendor. But when you buy bombs, it's a lot harder to get there. Well, there's that money. And we're literate now.
Book. Would you go to desert from the dam if you found the book list early?
Personally, if they don't find the boots in Kakariko, I'd probably do South Shore first. But if the boots are in here, then yeah, it would almost definitely be a play to desert pretty early.
Bottle in Kakariko well, so Sick Kid is not going to be a loose spot.
That green potion is pretty nice for their cane, but then they get a sword, so having magic for the cane doesn't matter nearly as much.
And here's your boots, so desert seems like the play here.
The Dream Early Boot Seed. And yeah, I'd definitely bet there's going to be something of value in desert getting the book and boots immediately like this.
Bottle vendor selling shields this time.
The biggest scam of all, a hunk of plastic for $100.
Another sword of Sick Kid. So, combat-wise, this is looking good for runners.
Okay, so the sick kid was trying to fight Ganon himself. He got the Sword of Evil's Bane, then found out the Master Sword doesn't work too great against Ganon. Yeah, like you were saying, equipment-wise, in very good shape to get going here.
Taking an early heart, why not? 4 heart is better than 3.
Oh dear, Herreteman didn't go check Sick Kid. He isn't going to have that Master Sword right away. Now we'll see if Strumpet is going to make this play over to Desert or over to South Shore. Almost definitely going to be taking care of the dam before either of them.
Herreteman following him to link south to see what's down on the south shore or the desert.
Strumpet getting the little minor trick of getting a dash going while pulling that lever. Something I learned by accident when I started playing Randomizer.
Nothing then left or right. Going right, Strumpet is doing south shore first, the standard opening.
Yep, definitely understandable. You're going to be checking here regardless eventually. So I definitely see the reason to go here first. You can make an argument either way, really.
Somehow Minimotor is still juking even with the sword.
Mini Moldorms are the second worst enemy in this game, behind only Dead Rocks.
Here's your lamp, Aga is open.
Oh dear, when you get an early Master Sword, you never want to see the lamp.
going towards Ice Rock Cave from Strumpet's side. Meanwhile, Herrick is going to get his lamp. Don't know what we'll think of it.
Yeah, and with Boots here, they could do the Bootwalk minor glitch out of Ice Rod Cave to go check Hobo very quickly. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, Herreteman's going back. He's headed over to Desert now.
Yep. Strumpet gets a piece of heart from the Ice Rock Cave, save and quits. I think he'll check Bunk Rock Nest, starting a statuary.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable thing to get checked pretty nice and early like this. So we're going to do, yep, Agena Cave first, then going into Desert afterwards. Just a big 20 there. The seed has given them a lot of rupees, and none of them with very much value, except for that one 300.
Well, all these big 20s gave them the Sora Foundation. Herreteman has 512 now. Strumpet is going to another standard starting location, the Eastern Sahasrara Play. Meanwhile, Herod is following the logic with Book and Boots going to Desert.
Yep, if they don't have a glove, so they can't clear Lamolus, but they can do everything else here at the moment.
Well, Gloves is vanilla in Desert.
Nothing of value in the back of Sahasrara's house, so gonna be up to Eastern Palace and Desert. Which one has the payoff?
Map check, Eastern Blue Pendant, there's a Green Pendant and the Crystal on Hera.
And that was Crystal 5 on Hera as well, so one of the two required for Pyramid Fairy. That is the kind of layout you never want to see, though. You always want to see 3 crystals in the Light World, because the Light World dungeons are so much faster. And then upside to consider for Hereti here is that, or not for Hereti, for Strumpet, is that this is a pendant dungeon. So you might not have to go back to Eastern if they get something of value later. On kind of the same vein, I guess, Desert is also a pendant, but it's the green pendant, which is more likely to be required.
Strumpet finding powder, the first item in Eastern. Desert having 2 items versus Eastern having 3.
And Hereti made nice use of a death warp there to get back to the entrance, a little bit faster than trying to run all the way back over to the left.
Oh, Moon Pearl on the torch. So yeah, Desert has payoff here. Let's see if Eastern has payoff as well.
Yep, and with that Moon Pearl, Aghanim is actually Dark World access, not just Pyramid check.
Well, I'd wait till Burma is the second item, so they don't have to kill Lemona just yet. They have both items in Desert.
Yep, unless Sasral is holding out on something, waiting for that green pendant, then they are clear to go for Desert on this, just with one trip.
And as we know before, they cannot actually beat Lemonas without Power Glove yet, so let's see what Herreteman does next.
Now, one catch here is Hereti doesn't have that sword, since he never checked Sick Kid. So he doesn't actually know that Aga is available right now, which, once Strumpet gets the Moon Pearl, he is going to know immediately.
True, but doing Ega now only unlocks Pod, and you are going to do Pod without the bow if that's the case, and the pyramid, I suppose. But so that doesn't look very appealing at the moment. Even you can do that.
True, although they do have a bottle, so they could do the world's easiest glitch to get to that bow lock side of pod without the bow. Let's see, I gotta assume Strumpet is going to desert. Now, after this, I don't know if there's really anywhere else that's open that we haven't seen logically. There is the Zora area that we could definitely get to, but it's not in logic yet.
Yup. You need Power Glove or Flipper for Zora itself to be in logic, the rest requires flippers.
Yep, so I do believe that this is, logically speaking, Aghanim required. Whether they can work around that or not is yet to be seen, but from following the logic, they will have to do Aghanim to get to the Dark World.
Or, as you said, going through the sewers all over again to see what those 3 chests contains.
Oh, very good call. I actually forgot that we hadn't checked those. That could be where a glove is at, or maybe a hook shot, which is always beneficial to have going into Dark World.
Yeah, without that hookshot, they are going to be very limited in their Dark World access, even with Aghanim.
I'm kind of hoping that's the way it plays out, though, because I'm interested to see if these guys know the bottle glitch. It's relatively recently discovered. It's very simple, but it's not as well known yet.
According to their bio, I think they both said they've been playing this for 6 months or so. They're both relatively new runners, so we'll see if they've been following the latest trend of glitches.
Yep, or the alternative of just knowing how to hover and just, walking across that bow lock side.
True, I forgot about that. I don't think it's realistic to expect them to hover, though.
I don't expect anyone to hover, but you never know. People have surprised me before.
True, true.
I see someone questioning the bottle glitch in chat, so just as kind of a brief explanation in case it comes up. Essentially, if you drink a potion while walking left through the hallway with the 3 jellies, and then go through the door while hugging the right wall, it disconnects the camera from where it's supposed to be and allows you to walk the mimics off screen, which makes the game think they're dead and open the door.
So we are pretty much even in inventory other than Herreteman didn't visit the sick kid to get his master sword.
Yep, and now the question becomes, do they go for the fake flippers, water walk, all that stuff to try to avoid Aghanim, or do they just take their loss, cut their losses, and go take them out?
Herreteman is a little too aggressive on that anti-fairy spinning around the vanilla big key room and takes a death to the anti-fairies. Those do 1 heart of damage. So you have to watch out if you want to damage boost that.
Yeah, they do have 2 hard pots in that room if you're noticing that things are going wrong with it. Otherwise, you can go with the vanilla strat of just killing everything and letting the anti-fairies start moving. But once you go a certain amount of aggressive, then you can end up in a real rough spot quick.
And you can use the pot to kill the Igor so you don't have to stash him for a million years.
So what will Strumpet do here? To Aghanim or fake flippering?
Looks like he's going to Aghanim.
Yeah, presumably he'll be checking those back 3 chests before actually going up there. But if you do that and then line your health up so you can death warp easily, you can get back here to go straight up to Aga afterwards.
Imagine if you find a mirror here. That'd be funny.
And Hereti gets the damage boost there the second time, picking up the map from the big key chest, and probably feeling pretty disappointed in that.
So Herreteman back to Sanctuary. Likely will check the bunk rock and let's see if he remembers the kit.
Hopefully he does. It's definitely one of those locations where if you get the bottle right away in Kakariko, sometimes you just assume you've taken care of it and don't think there's anything there.
Looks like he's falling to bag of escapes as well. No, he's not. Okay, bag of safe. Absolutely nothing. To Agnon we go.
Total garbage confirmed. Now the question here is Hereti going just to Ice Rod Cave, or is he also going to do Hobo, Zora, and Waterfall? Could be absolutely game-changing if there's a different form of Dark World access that's flipper locked.
Notably with Boots and Moon Pro, I think they can do the double water walk to access the Zora ledge item as well. But that's a pretty big setup, if I remembered.
Yeah, it's one of those glitches that can save you a ton of time, but if you aren't fully prepared for it, it can be also a pretty massive time waste.
I think Herreteman is lost. I don't think he remembers the secret. We'll see where he goes.
Yeah, hopefully that brief moment on the menu there saw the bottle and reminded him, wait, I haven't checked Bottle Vendor or Sick Kit, the two things involving bottles in Kakariko.
Okay, he's back in Kakariko. He didn't lose that much time, I suppose.
Okay, got his plastic shield and going to Sick Kid, so he'll be most likely on his way up to Aga momentarily.
Yep, got his Master Sword and he's ready for Ega.
Now, he could actually save some time here if he doesn't go to those back three chests of the sewers. Since there was nothing of value there, if he completely acts like they don't exist, he would be fine.
You know, for a while I thought those three chests you cannot push the song again after Zelda, but I guess you can. Where is Herreteman going? Is he going to do Flipper and don't know where?
I'm not sure. I think it kind of looks like he might be going to... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe plan to go up to Zora and forgetting that there's a rock block in the way up there?
This room is one of those rooms where boomerangs are actually useful.
Yeah, boomerangs are not very often valuable, but sometimes, especially Aga Tower and Skull Woods, they can be your best friend.
Okay, as we enter the Aghanim cutscene, how many blue balls do you think we're going to get this round?
I'm going to cheer for the dream of 15.
I'm going to cheer for the other dream, 0.
So we'll meet in the middle and get 7.5.
By half, do you mean he somehow reflects the blue ball and hit him? Looks like Herreteman is
That would work.
Looks like Herreteman is doing fake flippers using the bomb knockback setup. Bomb won't knock you into screen transition, so if you don't press left after the bomb hits you, you will be in perfect position to do fake flipper. Just like that.
So first phase of Aghanim got 2 blue balls, and he is now headed up to the Zora area.
Sword, a sword upgrade in Water Fairy, not something progression, but good to have. Herreteman lost the fake flipper, but he can still walk out to Zora. Don't save and quit, please.
Yeah, it's actually safer to not have that water walk there, because you can end up getting the one-hit death that comes with fake flippering, or the getting stuck unable to move that comes with the water walk.
Big 20 on Pyramid. We're off to Plus of Darkness.
Yep, and that sword is actually going to make Aghanim's Tower a lot easier for Herete as well, once he makes his way up there.
Let's see if sequence break payoff. It did and didn't at the same time. That's blue mail. Not something you absolutely desires, but you want it.
Yeah, it looks like the Zora area was pretty much the equipment upgrade zone today. Just get a sword, get some armor, feel a little bit safer. Now, head on to your last option. Oh, maybe going back for Hobo. Trying as much as he can to avoid that Aghanim play.
One last hope. Let's see how bold this part is.
First chest hookshot, I'm calling it.
I've seen that before.
Actually, now I think about that, wouldn't open anything with their current equipment. Hammer works though.
Well, Hammer works. It's still Bola, but they can go Hype Cave now.
Yep, they can do Hype Cave, visit Stumpy, do the digging game. Just a heart container on Hylia Island there.
Going to a middle room only to rise. He cannot do anything here.
Yep, that realization there. So I'm guessing that he must not be up on the bottle glitch existence, since that would be a pretty valuable sequence break to help you figure out where the bow is, if there's anything of value there.
Meanwhile, Redman have officially run out of option Arson and Aghanim, and his frustration slashing. Getting Aghanim C is always frustrating.
Those guards are giving Blastic a little bit of a hard time there. Seems like Herete might be forgetting at the moment that he can do Aghanim.
Yeah, sure looks so.
Trying to lift that rock to get the shortcut into the back of Escape there.
This hyper should have something given they don't have anything. Yeah, here's something.
Magic Mirror is lovely to get as you're about to go do the South Dark World loop.
Yup. And they still have no access to North Dark World.
I gotta say, that wasn't the most hype cave I've ever seen, but having Mirror there is a plus.
Yeah, given their total location left, that hyper could be way more hyper than that.
Oh, he's gonna go ahead and check Bombo's tablet while he's down there. That's a nice bit of on-the-fly routing after getting that mirror.
Yup. And not yet. They need Outcast. Herreteman going for the really the last of his options, the escape.
And there's the first glove on Bombo's tablet. That nice little routing choice there pays off quite well.
Yep, now he has to choose even if he wants to go to a dark grove from Kakariko. We think he's doing that.
At least the game was nice enough to give you all the stuff you needed to access Dark World somewhere that wasn't Hyrule Castle immediately after you get there.
Yep, I have seeds that were whenever I want to go dark world, I have to do the whole loop. Those seeds are not fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and head up to Death Mountain, can do everything in the Light World as is, and looks like Herete has finally accepted his fate of going tagging him.
Yeah, he's about like 4 minutes behind going into Ekdom, I'd say, or more. At least 4, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd put it a bit higher than that with all the walking that'll have to be done. Probably bordering on about 10 minutes total to get caught up exactly to where Strumpet's got. But he's got other stuff checked that Strumpet doesn't, so that will help pay off a bit. Also, Tempered Sword is going to make pretty much everything in this tower die in one hit except for the red guards.
Missing spin speed. It's nothing on Spectral Rock, and in the cave we have both 50 rupees. They don't really need any more other than potion funds.
You're not really helping him out there. So now we're going to be seeing the play into Hera here, most likely, as well as the Ether Tablet.
You know, Spy Cave is actually illogic, so maybe something is there.
Yep, it's just a royal pain to route Spike Cave with this loadout. Since you want to go to East Death Mountain and do Spiral Cave, you got to go across, down, back up, back across. Art container in the basement, so will we get the everyone's favorite basement required Hera seed?
Hey, basement required heresy is better than basement gamble heresy.
That's very true. That is very true. But no, big key right there.
Can this smoky lock itself? I'm not sure, I have yet to see it.
Yeah, Hera's small key is one of the ones that can lock itself, so it could be chilling in the basement. No, Strumpet!
Something's missing, the smoky?
There should really be a message for that. Since I see it there in chat, Spike Cave is actually in logic with just Cane of Burna. If you have Cane of Burna, you can make it all the way to the end of Spike Cave on 3 hearts by walking.
And a
With boots,
bottle.
even less.
And bottle. I think the simple logic is also that bottle with green goo.
For I believe that was true until V28. Then they changed it where Burna alone was enough, or K-Pen, half magic or bottle. They took out some of the stuff that was making sure the logic worked for Oko in the normal modes in a version ago or so.
Okay. I didn't pay that much attention. She's trying this bomb jump. If not executed well, he will fall 2 floors, but he got through.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Using the boot layer can make the bomb jump easier.
And then there's using a spin to get yourself 1 pixel from the hole guaranteed. That is pretty much the safest route, but also definitely not the fastest one. And Strumpet wraps up his Aghanim fight. Finally going to be heading into the Dark World.
Strumpet, meanwhile, on modern, 1 more hammer hit should do the trick. Or a Master Sword spin, and he hits it.
Nicely done. And it's just an arrow upgrade. So they get a 5-6 crystal, but nothing else really of value.
And basement is not required. That place had a compass, I think.
And Herret begins his journey to pick up that full Dark World access. As long as he remembers Bombo's tablet before running away from the Hype Cave, he'll be pretty well off.
Yep.
And we get a rare sight on Strumpet's side with Hype Cave where you actually have the boots to go through it.
And the sword to actually dash through the enemies not being zapped by them.
Of all the ways you could do Spiral Cave, it's pretty much the best way you could hope for. For $1 single.
Well, rewards goes up as the difficulty goes up, so $1 single seems just about right here.
For those of you keeping track at home, both single dollars have been found, so we'll never see another single rupee come out of a chest. There's hammer time for Herrete.
And here in Paradox Cave, we have another banana.
At least I got the better boomerang now. That's a plus.
Herreteman going to the right side. Well, we see the bottle glitch from him.
Let's see, he's gonna have to take a hit from an anti-parry. Oh, that's a hook shot.
Yup. And the ball. Looks like we're going back to pot.
Yep, looks that way, and Herrete seems like he's gonna be giving us a little bit of a heads up on what's gonna be coming there. And he does it perfectly. So now he just has to get these green mimics over here, kill them, and door open.
Yep. Nice bottle glitch. Meanwhile, Strumpet is going from Sanctuary to...
Strumpet is uncertain where they want to go. Looks like they were planning Village of Outcasts, maybe headed to Pod now with the bow. And just 2 small keys on the right side, which I believe is actually necessary if you get bow lock like that. So now we get to go open all these other chests.
Yep, and with a nice bonk, he can go back up for this chest and the chest on the basement. Lightwall match check. The last pendant is Turtle Rock, and crystal number 6 is Pod. Rest are regular crystals.
Yep, the benefit of having that pretty full-up light world check in terms of important information. So the Dark World map check can go a lot quicker and easier to see. And Pod living up to its reputation of having all the value in the back with nothing but keys so far.
So Herreteman will have the pod full checked a little ahead, but he still needs the power glove of Bumble's tablet.
Yeah, and the downside for Herreta here is that with the bow being available so soon, he's gonna have to come back to clear the dungeon, so he isn't saving quite as much time as he could.
And with these crystals, what current fairy is in play?
Yep, and Strumpet should be able to route that in pretty well after he's done with this dungeon, with what he's got left in West Dark World. Okay, so if 2 of the next 3 chests aren't keys, we know the Harmless Hellway is a key. That's a little bit of information we can plan for.
Our first progression. Oh, shovel and fire rod in basement.
Well, the shovel you don't want to see. You never want to see fetch quests, but the fire rod is quite lovely.
Which doesn't really do anything for Herreteman right now because he doesn't have access to skulls without that glove.
Yeah, for him right now, it's just a pretty nice weapon to have on hand for some things, but not really progression at the moment. Strumpet getting the little oddity when you land on that bunk just right, and you end up having to hop down a ledge to land on the floor in front of you.
Quick in the dark maze. Well, we don't know which crystal that's required yet. We haven't yet see the myths.
Yep, and we'll also need the flute to tell if it's definitely required for this seed, since Meyer is the only crystal dungeon out of that in T-Rock.
Looks like Helmasaur is going to have our last item here, along with 2 other in Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, and Herreteman seems to be thinking at the moment. Save and quit. Maybe gonna head back up to the portal and head down to Hype Cave now. I do believe it was faster to do that save and quit than it would have been to walk, or death warp, walk back out of pod and all the way down.
Yeah, I think so too. Meanwhile, Strumpetplaya is going to have skulls open right about now.
Yep, so delaying Village of Outcasts to come back here definitely pays off for him. And we're coming up on...
I don't think he went to Village of Outcasts, he went to Death Mountain. That paid off for him.
Well, after Death Mountain, he originally saved and quit to Sanctuary, so I thought he was going to Village of Outcasts. Looked like he changed his mind, decided to go here first. And so that turned out to be a good choice.
Herreteman gets his next puzzle of this minority to Power Glove. Hope he remembers what this mirror unlocked for him.
Yeah, and it looks like he's heading north, so it's not the best sign. It's going to make his routing a little bit less convenient this way.
Yeah, but as long as he doesn't get anything from south of Grove, Stumpy, and Digging Game, he will have to come back to Bumbles.
Yeah, gloves are a very limiting item, so it's not like you can miss them for super long, but the longer you go without them, the less convenient things you can do are. Just a piece of heart from the shovel, so that was not required.
Meanwhile, Strumpet is figuring out how to go to Helmet store.
So what will the digging game hold for us today? How many digs?
I say 17 digs.
It's definitely a lot of digs.
That's 16. I was one off.
Yeah, that was a very solid guess. You almost got it perfectly.
Looks like we're getting a magic powder chap from Herreteman.
Yep, seems that way. See what Magic Bat has to offer today. If this is the other glove, that could get real interesting. Very nice turtle room for Strumpet at the start there. Kind of ended up getting a couple turtles flipping back over on him that made it a little bit rougher, but
Just bumps from Mad Batter. Let's see where he goes next.
and Strumpet in one of the more annoying boss fights, just you have to hit this mask 17 freaking times.
I heard you can use bombs for the mask, but I don't know how accurate the bombs are on this boss.
You can use them, but it tends to be... they're very prone to bouncing off of them and bouncing out of range, so it's a lot harder than using the hammer.
One silver arrow to end the second phase, and get grabbed his other 5-6 crystals.
And some more money, as if they didn't have enough already. And where are you gonna head next, Trumpet?
Looks like Herreteman is going to grab his power gloves now, going towards the Bumble's tablet.
Very good, then we'll have to see where he goes from there. On his end, if he makes the play right to Village of Outcasts, having already gotten that fire rod, that could be a chance to get a little bit of a leg up here.
Strumpet looks into going towards Village of Outcast as well.
Unfortunately for Hereti, he's going to respawn on the pyramid here, which is not what he really was hoping for, I don't think.
Buying a red potion. Sure, why not?
I was going to say, when you got so much money, why not buy a single heart for 10 rupees?
But red potion wouldn't help it if you run out of magic in the torch room. But the potion shop is a little too out of way, I guess.
And that would be a pretty long walk to try to get up there to get the blue potion. It's usually a little bit nicer once you have flute and it's a couple seconds away, but...
Well, we're going to find through Stumptown this seed because Myra is required. But I think getting a red potion is good if you don't think you're going to survive this.
does look like he's going to be Heretti is going to be making the play up to Village of Outcasts, which could be a nice difference maker. If he gets a Titan's Mitt down here before he goes to Death Mountain the first time, that bottle glitch will have paid off quite a bit.
Well, that would mean the Titan Smith will have to be Skulls locked in the second part, or it's just Trumpet having a little time loss because the sequence. Here's speaking of flute, here it is.
Everyone's favorite item that's not called boots, the flute.
Skullwoods, while having a lot of chests, only has 2 items in it. So if you count the items, you won't have to open every chest.
And unfortunately, there's no key on this left side over here, so they have to go through Bumper Room.
This chest is guaranteed a key because there are false drop spots that drops here, and if you don't have the key, you have to save and quit.
Yep, the only item that is guaranteed to be in the same place every single run, no matter what mode you're playing.
Meanwhile, Herreteman is going through the village of Outcasts first, before Skullwoods.
Just 20 rupees in the C-shaped house. I think it was a heart piece in the Bomb Bull hut. So really nothing worthwhile, or not Bomb Bull hut. Chess game was 10 arrows. That's what I'm looking for. More money.
Quick doesn't quite work. Both Bumbles and Ether instantly kill those skip those, but not Quick.
Yep, although it did stun him, and he does have Canis Amarius, so you really didn't have to kill them. I feel like that was, maybe a little bit of cruel, unusual punishment for those Gibdos.
Hey, they're Gibdos, they deserve everything.
They are pretty horrible enemies, but I mean, they were just chilling there. They were already stunned, they were taken aback. You could have let them live.
Walk into Warmaster just in time to get back to the entrance, going to the deep part of Skullwoods. And I think we'll have the pet check after this Mozilla. Likely.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty likely. And I was watching the Gibdo room going on, so I missed the first couple chests of Thieves Town. We do have the big key and compass at least already that I saw.
Yep, I didn't see what's in Simpsons either.
Oh, well, looks like one of the chests got skipped by at first, so that's just a map.
Another thing that instant kill these skip those is silver arrows. I love to use them in this room to get them out of the way before lighting the torches.
Yeah, it's definitely the most efficient way to get rid of them when you're trying to if you're trying to save any magic for Mothula.
And there he just used it.
And we've got everyone's favorite boss fight in this entire game. The boss who sometimes just decides, nah, I'm not taking damage from that hit. I don't feel like it.
Meanwhile, Herreteman going to the Hell hallway in Thieves Town got through.
Yeah, making use of that powder for the nice free heal at the end there.
Doing pretty good dance so far. Down to because in Greenmail, Spike do 1, but the Beams Mozilla does 2.
Just a piece of heart from Mothula, unfortunately, but that was a very nicely done fight.
And he doesn't need to walk all the way back in because that's the second item here.
Yep, gets to avoid that bridge chest. And actually, you did make me think of one thing that could be noted, in that Mothula is an interesting fight in that the higher your armor gets, your priority changes from take hits to spikes only to take hits from Mothula only.
Pad is dead. A heart piece.
Rip in pieces, Pedestal. The same heart piece that's on you, you can now rest in peace with. Okay, and the small key of Thieves Town is in the big chest, so we just got one item left on Blind himself.
That made them lose a little pale. That's because sprite palettes being shared between the player sprites and the NPC sprites.
Good old giant block that almost assuredly was supposed to require the Titan's Mid, but for whatever reason, it doesn't.
It isn't even required to be lifted up in the first place, it's just a shortcut.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a very strange location for that block, honestly.
Seeing Titan Mist is vanilla in Thieves and Big Chest, I'd agree with you saying that should be a Titan's block. So you unlock the shortcut after the big chest.
Already getting kind of tight on the health here. Needs to be careful, but that Cane O'Brien will make Phase 3 free if used well.
Magic
come
looks
on.
iffy. Oh, come on.
Okay, use the red potion for safety, but... Come on,
Just
one
one
more
last
hit.
hit, please.
There we
Okay,
go.
he got it.
Also a piece of heart.
Meanwhile, I think Strumpet just purchased another red potion. Why not as well? He got all the money in the world. Where did he get 1,300?
Part of that is he hasn't bought Zora's item yet, so that's 500 of the difference, and then I think he got an extra couple 300s on Death Mountain.
Sounds about right. Herreteman checking graveyard ledge for us.
Yep, Graveyard
And
Ledge and likely King's Tomb.
Yep, Kingston looks first. A big old hard container.
I'm guessing after this, Hereti will probably either head to Skullwoods or Death Mountain. There are a few other options he has, but those are definitely the ones that have the most value.
Also, where do you think those titans can be right now?
Well, with those flippers, I'm going to go ahead and bet on Swamp Palace, because gloves tend to love Swamp Palace.
Yeah, indeed. Flipper was found in Thieves Towns, right?
What was that?
I forgot where the Flippers is. Is that Thieves Town?
Flippers were Graveyard Ledge right there.
Oh, how did I miss that? I was watching Thieves Town side.
Yeah, it makes sense. Looks like he's going to be making the play to Skullwoods first, not going to get distracted by those flippers and run off to Swamp Palace. It'd be very unfortunate for him if he did make the swamp play early, though, finding those flippers with the hook shot on Death Mountain, because he would be forcing himself to double dip, which isn't really necessary.
Yeah, it's a trade-off between Swamp Pass double tip or Death Mountain double tip, and Death Mountain double tip is definitely way faster.
And Herreteman gets his flute and goes immediately to the pinball room, which is not something you see very often, but 100% pays off in this scene.
I'm not sure if he did this go first left side of scope was backwards. I'm not sure if he did that. He might check the upper roof first and then go back to the room where the hole appears after you open the chest. You could do that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the options, and it looks like with that death, he's going to go ahead and go up here and take the key door right over as it is. Trying to figure out which way to deal with the Gibdo he wanted to choose. The boomerang, the hammer, the fire rod, all great options. Also, he is going to have so much easier of a Mothula fight.
Yep, 10 per store deals only 4 slashes, while Master Sword requires 8.
Meanwhile, Strumpet is in the blind fight, and handling it pretty well so far. Just one hit to go. There it is. And that's the 4th crystal for Strumpet, which is quite nice given the fact that it's an hour and 7 minutes in and you're still lacking Titan's mitts.
I think Titan Smith is going to be very close to our Gomo item other than Mire entrance.
You know what I'm going to hope for? I'm going to hope that the Titan's mitts are on Sahasrara.
Checking bumper, he doesn't have access, but he can see it. It's nothing. Cape is not required.
And Herreteman going to get his relief from the pedestal fears.
Strumpet is going to get his flippers real soon. He still has yet to do Zora, so he might go there first before Swamp.
Taking the long way around up into the graveyard here. Oh, Herreteman making the unfortunate decision to go check this chest under the bridge before Mothula. Okay, so Strumpet will be getting his flippers soon and probably choosing to tread some new territory.
I'd go to Zora first because everything is still open there. Then I will consider Swamp Pass.
Yeah, in his case, it definitely seems like Hobo and the Zora area stuff are the play to be made. He'll probably walk over to Catfish and mirror across.
Yeah, very efficient routing.
Unfortunately, also taking the long way out of the graveyard.
Alright, he just got through torture with no magic left. Just make it. Couldn't powder the bunny bean without magic.
Yep, he should be able to handle things well enough without that powder. but Mothula can definitely go wrong very quickly.
Yeah, 4 heart is 4 hits from spikes. He waited for the wall master here because even if you're dropping, it can still grab you out of the hole and send you back to the start.
Oh, no, don't charge the spin attack. Never spin attack with Tempered Sword, it does nothing.
It does nothing extra. In vanilla game, it does nothing because that's the same damage class as spikes, so it doesn't do anything.
Rando is actually the same with spin attacks, they just made Gold Sword, Tempered Sword in the Mothula room. So that fixes the Gold Sword issue, but both of them will do 0 damage with a spin attack.
Ah, I see.
And for those of you listening who weren't aware, Link to the Past has some very weird programming things like that, where bosses can just decide not to take damage from certain damage classes. Strumpet about to get his blue mail from Zora, just got his Tempered Sword. Let's see where Herete heads off to. Heading back up toward Kakariko.
I would thought that save and quit and go from Sanctuary is going to be faster than this. I'm not entirely sure. He's going to activate his flute and goes from there.
Yeah, it almost certainly would have been faster to save and quit out of there. Looks like Strumpet's making the Swamp play. I kind of expected Pyramid Fairy to come first, but looks like he's headed straight for Swamp.
For gods, he needs to pull the dam first. I mean, after you leave Storm, you're still in this area for the bomb shop. So both but if you do Pyramid Fairy first, you have to save and mirror and save and quit back to your house. So I think this might be a little bit faster.
Well, with Aghanim dead, they could just walk north of the bomb shop, mirror, go through the portal, walk back south, past the gate, mirror back, and then run south. So it is probably a little bit shorter, but if it can save you some time in Swamp, it could be worth. And Herete is going to go ahead and take care of Death Mountain now. We'll be getting his bow, his hook shot, not much else really.
Well, those are important. Early big key, so he doesn't have to worry about finding the big key in the back and wonder whether he should go back for it or not.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty good argument for just doing left side on the first pass through. Even though they still need a couple of items for go mode, potentially. You still kind of are tempted to do that late left side.
I know there's a play where you just pre-flop the left side but don't do it and only do it after you August and you haven't found all the items. I remember a few players do this.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways that end up coming up for routing Swamp. It's one of the more variable dungeons in the run. So interestingly, looking at this again, if Quake is required for Mire, the only thing needed for Go mode is the Titan's Mid.
Yup.
And if Bombos or Ether are required, who knows where they could be.
I'd rather not think about that right now. Looks like he's keeping left side for now.
Yeah, I'd say with the early big key and the compass, you're probably going to be doing left side anyway, unless you're wanting to gamble those chests over there. So it is faster to do the first time through if you're going to end up doing it anyway. But he
But
might be thinking mitts are go mode. Let's just look for that one item where there are the most chests.
yeah, uh, it's a reasonable gamble to take.
Yeah, left side is very slow.
And he doesn't know he's ahead because we don't allow runners to watch each other.
Hey, they got a cave. They can go get that quiver upgrade off of Bumper Cave now. I'm sure that's exactly where he'll head next.
Maybe not. Well, there's your Titans.
There it is. So we got a 33% chance of being in go mode right now.
I'd imagine if I was Strumpet, I will, after August, will go straight, activate my flute, and fly to Mire to see if I'm in go mode or not.
Yeah, that's absolutely the best option there is going straight to Mire. You don't want to step foot in Ice Palace not knowing if you're in go mode yet. Argus with the Tempered Sword is a very easy boss fight. It can still go wrong, but unless you're going for the absolute quickest of kills, it's pretty simple to just knock this out with Tempered.
While the pop is not cooperating, finally got the F2 cycle, pulling out silver arrows, doing spins anyways. Meanwhile, Herreteman gets his Tower of Hera crystals. Will proceed to the east side to meet his hookshot and bow.
Yep, and that'll allow him to clear Pod as well as get to those Titans mids.
He's going for the left side. He changed his mind. It and changed his mind again.
Okay, so he is going to go play it safe, not risk that medallion being something other than Quake and sitting on left side of Swamp.
Yeah, there's two items here. He has both the map and compass already. So that's a third of a swamp item in the left side. So I'd rather not risk it as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you feel like super far behind, maybe you make that gamble, but most circumstances you're probably going to want to just do this while you're here. The benefit of coming back from it is you literally cannot flood this key.
Yep, doing the doing this, you cannot follow this key because you don't have the spare key in the main room anymore. Intended way, you cannot also follow this key because you don't have the hook shot.
I can't count how many times I have personally flooded that key. It is so hard to resist pushing that switch when you go in this room.
Yeah, but having that key in this part saves a little time routing because you can go to a top room and hit a switch, go down, get a key, and go back up to drain the pond. It's better than going up down from the main room a couple of times.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the main reasons why this dungeon is so routed so variably among players, is that there's so many different considerations to make.
Looks like we're getting Spike Cave from Herati.
I forget, I don't think we've seen this yet. His best hope would be if there is Bombos or Ether in here, and that's required for Meyer.
Yep.
Well, it's
Just
some
on safety.
Talk about, improving your defense by taking enough damage to train it up.
Yep, sounds about just like that. Wouldn't that make more sense with boot? Having that chest has boots because it's your feet that is taking damage.
It definitely would. I couldn't really think of anything for it, though, so... Okay, now the question is Herrete heading to Swamp, or is he going to go over to Pod and clear that out?
Meanwhile, the moment of truth is coming out on Strump's side. Is he in go mode?
It's either.
No, so he's not yet in go mode. We're still looking for that medallion. Where could that be?
It could be literally anywhere that's not in Misery Mire. I was kind of hoping for that, just to see where the sea could hide that medallion. There are a lot of options left.
Yeah, it can even be in Turtle Rock.
Let's see, Ice Rod and Ice Palace, and the Ether Medallion on Trinex.
Sure, why not? Let's see if he'll go to Dark Death Mountain now. There's 6 chests there waiting for him.
Yeah, I'd say from pure chest density, that's the best option. You could also go to Pyramid Ferry, which I'm guessing is what he's doing, or Ice Palace beforehand as well.
Looks like Pyramid Ferry. I thought he was full to 8.
Yeah, Ice Palace being a crystal you can full clear definitely has some value, but it's so much faster with go mode that people try to avoid it as best they can.
The same can be said about Swamp, but there's no doing that this seed because Titan Smiths.
And Strumpet, unfortunately, not taking the fast route for the bomb here. Gonna go the long way around. It's one of those things that in the vanilla game would happen every time you tried to do this, easily shoved into your memory as quickest. But in Rando, it comes up so often that you need to do this and have Aghanim killed and have the mirror that you forget about it kind of often.
Picks up the bomb back a couple of times, waiting for the countdown.
Okay, Pyramid Fairy has a heart container and $5.
We're on the wild goose chase here. Where's Ether?
It's usually the ice rod that's sitting around somewhere that nobody can guess at. This time, it's one of the medallions.
We're doing ice.
Yep, ice has 3 items. If it were me, I would definitely go up to Death Mountain just you got the 6 items on the Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave, and then you got another 6 within Turtle Rock that you probably have access to. So that's up to 12 up there.
If Turtle is quick, you have access to them. But
True.
looking at where this is going, I will bet Turtle Rock is quick. I think either is in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, with how this has gone and my experience with V29, I wouldn't be wholly surprised by it. Ice is kind of the safe play, though. You know your time here is being spent productively. Going up Death Mountain, you don't have that assurance. So, Ice Palace has 3 items total inside. We found one of them already.
West side swamp is checked. Strumpet did full clear swamp after he beat Argus.
Now Strumpet going through one of the most fun rooms in the game, the Stalfos room, where you get to do this really fun quick kill.
Nicely done here.
Sword beams also make this annoying conveyor floor room a lot easier to deal with. Now we get the attempt at the Ice Palace bomb jump coming up.
They also say if you want to float clear Ice Palace and have hookshot in somewhere, you actually don't need to do this bump jump and it's going to be faster not do it. But it's an AMG strat and everyone defaults to doing it.
Yeah, the situations where it would be faster come up so rare that everyone just has muscle memory for do bomb jump here, and forget that you don't actually have to do the bomb jump.
Going to drop to check the right side first with that hookshot.
Ideally, you'd be hoping to avoid at least Ice Tea Room, finding both the items before that comes up, since that's the slowest room out of this dungeon to get to. And Herrete is going to be getting his Titan's mid soon, and we'll see where he decides to go from there.
That second item in ice, a big 20.
More money! So if not Ice Palace, it's almost definitely the play to go up to Dark Death Mountain. There are a few overworld locations those myths unlock. There are a few that just weren't checked yet in general. But Dark Death Mountain is definitely the highest chance of having what you need.
Resort room, another small key, so we are down to big chest, iced tea room, and cold stair. Looks like the dream is coming true. There's no iced tea room today.
Yep, assuming he's been counting his items, he should be able to just walk right into Cold Stair here. And it appears he has been and knows that there's nothing left to find. With half magic and tempered sword, Cold Stair should be a pretty easy fight to take care of. Already gonna get the bad news about Meyer.
Got trolled. by the icicle charging the first spin, but 2 puffs down already. And here we go.
Very nicely done, taking out one of the more likely to cause you problem bosses in the run.
And one of the costly, it actually kills you.
So where do these runners both go next?
There's also a play on landmines for the green pendant. That's one off location.
Yeah, that's definitely still an option on the table. And Herrete gonna get his half magic. That mirror bonk was just as well for Herrete since he couldn't do anything there anyway. Looks like he is headed back to Pod to go kill Helmasaur.
Strumpet, meanwhile, is going south to. I don't think he checks Stumpy, did he? And there's the whole spec blacksmith stuff. But he shouldn't be using this portal for that.
Yeah, it seems like that might be what he's going for. Just kind of taking the long way around to it. The advantage to going this way is that once you grab the purple chest, you can stay in the light world and just flute to 7 instead of having to walk it down to K45.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be doing his 16 digs for disappointment.
He's cleaning up all the south stuff and grab the black service on the way up.
Oh yeah, he also has not checked shovel yet, so he's going to be knocking that out now.
Yeah, doing this all in one go, pretty efficient because he can actually dash with all the purple chest.
And we're getting kind of closer and closer to the time where we can get a solid judgment of just what the difference between these two runners are, as Strumpet is clearing up some of the stuff that Herrete checked that he had not.
Looks like 10 minutes to me, but we'll see when they when he grab the ether medallion.
Yeah, if Herrete goes to Ice Palace after Pod, then it's a pretty solid difference. If he heads up to Death Mountain and Ether's up there, that could be a nice swing in the placement here.
Yeah, Gomo as far as real fast, but I don't think it's enough for he to catch up just yet.
Getting the hammer dash for hammer pegs here, see what's down here. One disadvantage of starting to the south there is you can't check this before getting the frog, so if this was Ether, he still has to turn him in before he can go to the dungeon. Just a big 20 in hammer pegs, however. So now we get to turn in the blacksmith.
And I think he has yet to check the powder, so I think he'll do that here as well.
He's got a nice little wrap through. Oh, they ripped you off $5. Those jerks.
Yeah, you need to pay them $10 to give you an item and just get 5 back. The unlikely ripoff, but it's a ripoff today.
Usually you're almost guaranteed value on that spot, but occasionally you get that 50 or 90% ripoff, and it's just sadness.
Herreteman going to grab a big bomb.
We'll see if he takes the little shortcut route here. Seems like he's going to, but you can't jump off the ledge with the bomb. Oops.
Oops.
Gotta run.
Can he make it? Screen transition?
Seemed like he tried to do the screen transition grab and decided it was going to be more viable to just buy the bomb again.
Yeah, he got the money. It's not here. Back to Death Mountain.
Yep, here comes the Dark East Death Mountain check. This is probably Ether. If it's not, there are very few locations left for it. Getting that love and $5 out of the Pyramid Fairy on Herreteman's side. Strumpet gonna go up to the Turtle Rock portal so he can open it if it is Quake.
So if you are just joining us, we are looking for one last item for Como. That item is Ether Tablet.
Incidentally, if Quake is required for Turtle Rock, then we have vanilla medallions.
Looks like Herreteman is going to Ice Palace. Sensible play.
It's also Ether, so there is nothing required in Pendant Turtle Rock. That is pretty rare.
A sigh of relief from runners, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's always a wonderful moment when you need one more item and one of those super time-consuming dungeons also needs that item. There it is!
Okay, at 1 hour, 38 minutes, 18 seconds, Strumpetplaya has entered Go mode. He has Mire to go. What kind of Mire would he get? The long and windy one, or the first chest big key one?
Given how this seed has gone, I'm gonna guess on Vanilla Big Key. Unfortunately, it does not have full hearts, so can't use sword beams to get through the foyer room of Meyer as easily.
Yeah, there are a lot of strats in this starting room of Mystery Mire. There are Fyra strats. I think there are also Samaria strats. I'm not sure about that one. But Fyra strat, even pulled off well, it's very nice to watch.
Yeah, Fire Rod and Sword Beams are definitely two of the easier, quickest ones. I believe Samaria can get through almost as fast, but it is a little bit harder to pull off. Now, about to check the chest and figure out if this is a Godmire or not.
Guardian opt to not do the bomb jump. It's the ice rod.
Hey, we can go kill Trinex now. I'm sure he's got something important.
Well, good thing we're not on Kisanity because my big key could be on Trinex if that's the case. Good thing we know the big key is going to be here in Mire.
That is the nicest change. There it is. So it's pretty much Godmire.
Yep.
So Strumpet just has to go kill Vitreous, which will be pretty much free with the silver arrows, and then it's off to GT.
Yep. Yep.
Which also means that we have everyone's favorite game coming up soon. Had to push the block a little bit further to get it on the switch there, but moving right along. These dark rooms that are such a pain without the lamp are so very straightforward when you have it.
Yeah, we have seen a few races decided by this kind of dark room navigation already. Good thing we have the lamp very early, but the price is again required.
As we make our way to Vitreous here, after this, Strumpet is going to be going up to Ganon's tower. There are 22 chests in the basement where the GT Big Key could be. One of those chests will have it. So once he starts this boss fight, we're going to start up the Big Key guessing game. If you want to type a number between 1 and 22 in the chat to guess where you think that Big Key will be.
And if you have subscribed to any of the speed gaming channels 1 through 6, or donate 250 bits or more across all the channels, you can be on the leaderboard.
And we'll cut this off when we get up to GT. Until then, we'll keep this going. You have the time to get your guesses in. My usual go-to is Tile Room.
I usually guess something like 13 or something, just a random number.
I never really end up thinking the Tile Room is going to be it. I just always enjoy the moments of realization as you go more and more chests and it's still not there. So Herreteman didn't do the bomb jump, so he's had a little bit more roundabout route through Ice Palace. With the items all being avoiding the Ice Tea Room, the bomb jump was definitely a little bit quicker. But he gets his bee friend and heads right on down the cold stair.
So we are entering against towers. There's a few route divergence here, but I don't think those will matter this match. You can go left side first, go right side first if you find a key on the first two chests, or do the mystical dark magician route where you mirror out of a stealth room and go to the right after that.
Yeah, there are a lot of options for how you go through GT.
We have a small key, so right side is available, and he's going to do that.
Yep, I know during last year's spring tourney, it was pretty much 100% consistent that people went to those first two chests and then went left. During the open tourney in the fall, people really started adopting this go right if you get a small key strategy.
Herreteman coming back up to Death Mountains, so he will be entering Go mode relatively soon.
No big key in chests 3 through 6.
Grabbing a key and mirror back to the left side, the standard right side check route.
Yeah, you never want to forget to grab that key off the right side before mirroring back. Things can go horribly wrong if you do.
Like missing a key going up and nowhere to be found.
And we're gonna get a look at what Super Bunny Cave has to offer.
We have mushroom, and no big key from chest 8 through 11.
Yep, and the mushroom, another reason to be excited and happy about not playing Key Sanity. You don't have to go turn that mushroom in for the big key. Chest 12 coming up. Double firebar room. Going with the safer strat over the quick hookshot strat.
So at 1 hour 47 minutes 43 seconds, Herreteman has entered Go mode about a 9.5 minute difference.
Yep, and now just has to go to Meyer. Standard routing will get him to the boss pretty quickly, and then he'll be on his way up to GT as well.
Go sword, nice.
Can never complain about butter. It makes the Ganon fight just a little bit simpler. I believe, if I recall correctly, that was chest 13. Yes. Hey, a mirror shield as well. 14, 15, 16, and 17 are all empty. So we got Bob's chest, we got Ice Armos, and we have Tile Room.
Room. Making a bunk back second try, saving 2 transitions.
Yeah, it's a relatively minimal time save, but usually worth taking a brief moment to go for.
That's chase number 18.
And he murdered Bob at the last moment.
Well, Bob respawned on the different antivirus in the same room. Bob lives forever.
That's true, he did possess his dear friend, take over his body.
19, 20, 21, we're on Tile Room.
It is Tile Room. The GT dream is real.
Meanwhile, Herreteman found his second to last big key, the Mystery Mire big key.
Now, presumably, Strumpet, I'm guessing, knows that you can grab a wall with a cape and not use magic, which is usually the most relaxing way to do this room. Although, just kind of run around dodging the tiles at the moment. Already had a little trouble with that block placement. That switch is a lot more particular than you would expect it to be.
Yeah, the box, the hitbox, or the switch hitbox a little finicky.
There it is, the GT Big Key in the last possible location.
So just to clarify again, to get on the leaderboard, you need to be a sub or of one of the speed game channels or donated 2250 bits totals across the channels. So while we do have the 22 in chat, the winner uh is the one that got on leaderboard is not him.
Now, if Strumpet has a nice clean gauntlet, he should still be able to pull off a sub 2. But it's gonna be a little bit tight in terms of needing to be clean with all the execution through it. Herreteman collecting his 7th crystal will be headed up to GT momentarily.
Do you think he'll do the Tyrone gamble? It doesn't. It sounds insane, but we know it's there.
Yeah, Tile Room Gamble is one of those things that I never expect anyone to do. So I can't say I would think it would be coming, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, me neither. It's just insane to do that. I mean, 1 in 22, you got a 4-minute time save, and the rest you got a 1-minute time loss. That doesn't compute right.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably make an argument that it's worth doing sometimes just on the chance that it is that 1 in 22, but not very often at most. Usually only if you feel way, way behind.
Hitting the first 2 silvers and missing the next 2. A 3 cycle lane modus 2.
Now to the Wizard rooms that the speed strats for are very, very pleasant as well.
Yeah,
Nicely done on both.
Yeah, the Samara is made for this room.
It's one of those things where I wonder if the developers were like, you know, we need an item that makes this room great.
And now he needs to not despawn the tower. Yeah, I think he's out of the woods there.
Yeah, if you're ever the least bit uncertain if you're going to make it up those stairs on time, you always want to just take the wait time.
And now he doesn't need to open any chest up here because he is totally geared up.
Yep, unless you really wanted that red mail, there's nothing you could even hope to get in those chests. Now for Troll Dorm 2, the probably actually a little bit easier to not fall to version of Troll Dorm.
Yeah, I heard the best way to do Troll 2 is the way Strumpet just did to dash through it because it doesn't knock you back while you are dashing.
Yeah, it's probably the most reliable way to do it, especially with Gold Sword where it's only going to take 2 dashes. And Herrete does not decide to gamble on Insanity, instead taking a normal route, so he'll be a little ways off from getting his big key.
Oh, this looks like a good setup.
Release the spin just a little early.
Now Ega is totally out of sync.
Yeah, this is super awkward timing. That was a nice double there.
I think it's 5 hits now. Got blue balled. Yep, that's 6 hits. We're off to Ganon.
Yep, and with Butter Sword and Silver Arrows, the Ganon fight is as free as it's ever going to be. 6 hits for phase 1, 6 hits for phase 2, year 4 for phase 3, and then 4 Silver Arrows for phase 4. And with half magic and cape, Strumpet should be able to keep himself relatively safe from damage while doing all this. He should be able to handle it no problem.
Yeah, checking his safeties has a red potion and a fairy, so he needs to watch his magic, but not much else.
Ganon teaching us a lesson about cheese-based world records.
We're bashing him with some cheese right now. He has a
Strumpet
fairy,
takes to death, but here comes the fairy.
and he's through to phase 3, so I think he's good. Just don't get knocked off.
You have no falls and no hugs. That is phase 3 down, so just 4 silver arrows remaining. Gonna be going for Torch Glitch.
Got it? Third arrows. And Ganon is down.
Yep, 4 clean silver arrow hits, and assuming he doesn't fall off the ledge before making it through the door, Strumpetplaya has just won round 1 here. And there it is, finishing with an official SRTV time of 1:59.16. Strumpetplaya comes in first in the race.
So Herreteman is going to the ice armors will realize its entire room fairly soon. So shall we bring Strumpetplaya in for an interview?
I know based on his bio that was filled out, he said he's not very prone to doing post-race interviews. So I don't think he'll be coming in here.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess at least we'll be seeing him pop into chat here shortly, but In the meantime, Herreteman, I forget if he did right side first or not. He might just be headed to tower room, or he might still have a few more chests to check first.
Looks like we're seeing right side from Herreteman first before the inevitable renovation of its entire room.
Yep, the moment we all hope to avoid in every seed we do.
Just a tad slow on the torches, the door shuts right before he goes in.
Yeah, the timing on that room is pretty tight. And Strumpetplaya has come into chat. GG, Strumpet. It was a very well done race on your end.
So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask him in chat. And
Okay, and looks like we should be back. Chat, can you hear us? Can you hear us, chat? So we were having some technical difficulties on the commentary there. We should be back now as Herete continues to make his way up Death Mountain, not Death Mountain, Ganon's Tower, which is on Death Mountain. Yeah, Strumpet, the early game, you missed out, Herete missed out on that sword. Pretty much cleared every last location that was available, including anything sequence breakable before going to Aghanim. So that was kind of where you took the lead, and it kind of stayed that way through most of the remainder. "24 bonks isn't bad at all for having the boots as early as you guys did."
And congrats on the sub 2 and Herreteman unfortunately using his fairy in the gauntlet.
Yeah, the gauntlet certainly isn't easy. It's not all that uncommon to take a lot of damage there unless you play it pretty safe or you've played a whole lot of this game.
Or you use your medallions very freely, just wasting time just to get a ensure you get those stealthos with ether or bumbles.
So, Strumpet, since you're in chat, what was your favorite part of that seed? Already heads into the Wizrobe rooms. The rest of G Tower is pretty easy to not take much damage on. It's more so a matter of how long it takes to get stuff cleared efficiently.
Didn't have enough magic, but he has half magic, and I think he has a few blue potions, so he's fine.
That's a pretty good one to like. Graveyard Ledge is definitely one of those locations that pretty much just destroys everyone so many times over the course of playing Rando.
Yeah, that is just so hard to route it, and I think you after getting the flippers, you actually also get to routing Zora right after the flip, so that's really convenient for you.
Yeah, that was one thing that Hereti got an advantage from early on with that late Aga play. Was sequence break in the Waterfall of Wishing and the Zora area. He had Blue Mail and Tempered Sword super early.
Herreteman almost forgets to get the smoky from Helmsor, but he remembers right uh, a little bit right after, so he'll get he'll have a key for this room.
Nice save from the Spark by knocking that away there.
And Herreteman also did the potion glitch in pot, so he has the fire rod before you do, but you are already going to pot, so that's not a lot faster. And he still yet to go to Death Mountain for the bow, so he cannot beat pot. So it's still a double dip. So the only thing get out of that is the fire rod, I think.
Yeah, Pod was pretty empty besides that Fire Rod and the Hammer at the start, which, I mean, I guess is a third of its items, but, you know. And Hereti over here just approaching Aghanim 2. We'll see how good he is at geometry for a while.
Those are some bad patterns. How do you hit him with this?
Definitely not the easiest patterns to deal with. Already getting a little bit rougher of angles from avoiding the spin attack to reflect stuff that Strumpet did. The patterns are the same, but the way he's handling it is a little bit harder to pull off consistently.
Oh, I got to his down. He is also off to Ganon. He has even more safety, so I believe he bought potion before coming up to the tower.
Yep, he should be a-okay. The only thing he really has to worry about is surprise deaths, which with red mail shouldn't really happen. Just gonna cape his way through phase 2, make it nice and completely safe.
And doing way more hits than he did because why not?
Yep, sometimes when you're in a race, you're at the end, you know your opponent's already done. You just want to take all that frustration out on Ganon by hitting him as many times as you can. Getting the torch
Having
glitch as well.
oh,
Oh no!
if he halts right here, he would prevent it. He would have prevented himself from falling. Yeah, Ganon has quite some knockback when you slash him.
Yeah, it's very easy to avoid in that kind of situation by holding away from the hole, but sometimes you don't think you're going to knock back far enough and get taken off guard by it. Yeah, we heard you the first time, Ganon, okay? On the bright side, he gets to beat on Ganon a little bit more. As a reminder, it only takes 6 hits to kill Ganon phase 1 and 2 with butter, so that was way more than necessary. Oh lord, that teleport RNG.
Oh, getting a Ganon heart, it did 3 hearts of damage on red mail.
Uncle may say red mail is for cowards, but it sure is useful. Oh, that fire bat had me worried.
And Ganon's down. Just don't fall off the bridge, and we'll have official SRTV time.
Yep, he did get the delayed animation from being up too high there, so the falling off was definitely a risk. And there, Herreteman finishes with an official SRTV time of 2:16:02.
GG to both runners.
Yep, and now gonna try to figure out if Herrete wants to come in here for a little bit of a chat before we end this broadcast. So as a whole, that seed was kind of mean. It was friendly enough to not make you go into pendant TR for anything, but still kind of a mean seed. Okay, Herrete does want to come in for an interview. I just need to figure out how to bring him into the server here. Okay, I've got him invited to the Discord server for the commentary, so he should be in here shortly.
I think we both did at the same time.
Fantastic timing.
Alright, here I am.
Hello, welcome to the chat, GG.
Yeah, GG. I told Strumpetplaya that I usually get the worst seats, and this time it also happened. I think it's the first time I've gotten. It's the first time I've gotten a lot of things. Mainly tile room with Vicky. That's always a blast.
Yeah, and Aghanim with her is never fun.
I really refused to go to Aghanim. I didn't want it to be a Naga seat because the Lumberjack cave didn't have anything. So I just tried to go everywhere and sequence break everything I could, and it didn't pay off. I probably lost about 15 minutes or something like that to that.
Yeah,
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's about the difference between you guys, actually.
Well, I also played really sloppy. I'm not used to this randomizer yet, or not to many of the strats. You probably noticed I don't bomb jump as much.
Well, a full clear ice blast that didn't really require the bomb jump, but it might be faster in some situation. So we can see that.
Yeah, I full cleared Ice Palace just because at that time I only needed Ether to go to Ganon's Tower, but I didn't want to go to any overworld place because I still needed to complete Crystal Dungeons. so I just full clear size. It didn't really pay off, but that's okay.
Yeah, you two did the same thing in regard to Ice Piles and Dark Death Mountain. You both full clear ice first before going up there.
I don't know why I don't go to Dark Death Mountain way often, because there's always something there, and I always try to not go there until the very end. That's alright, lesson learned. I'll try to win my next race, I guess.
Well, good luck on the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
So one
I'll
thing
see
that I wanted to
you-
ask about, since it set up a pretty interesting moment early in the run, that switch and escape.
Yeah. Would you believe me if I said I didn't know this was standard mode until I started the seed? Because I didn't.
That's
So I
kind of what I'm
wasn't
thinking.
I wasn't really expecting to have to go through that. I don't really practice that, especially with Kane or Samaria. Once I ran out of magic, I didn't even know what to do. So I just death warped. It was a weird time loss, but I'll know for the next run as well.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it was actually like right after you died at that point, you were heading back through the sewers and Strumpet took a death in Lost Woods. And so you both ended up leaving Sanctuary from those respective time losses at about the same time.
Dying in Lost Woods is really weird. Can you even do that? I guess the crows do damage.
Yeah, he took a bunch of damage in sewer, and the bird in Lost Woods did him.
Ah, I see. Well, I have to go have lunch. It's kinda late. So thanks for having me. I'll try to
Yes.
get better for next round.
Yes, thank you for joining the tournament. Without you, we wouldn't have a stream.
Yep. Alright, see you another day. Bye.
Have a good one. So I think that'll just about wrap it up. Before we go, just want to say, if you guys enjoyed what you saw from these two today, please do follow the runners. They both put on a very good show. Couple little hiccups here and there from things like that switch we just talked about, but that happens to the best of us. So give them a follow if you enjoyed what you saw. Other than that, just a shout out to Speed Gaming for hosting and restreaming so many of these matches. Our tracker Dude for being excellent on tracking as usual, and a shout out on my end for my commentator Blastegg, co-commentator Blastegg.
And shout outs to you too.
So if I recall, we do have quite a few races going on today. With the schedule being 256 per week, there are quite a few every day. So yeah, if you're looking for more rando, there is definitely going to be more to watch throughout the day on the Speed Gaming Network, as well as on the A Link to the Past Randomizer channels.
There's one going on right now. I'm not sure that if they finished yet on Speed Gaming, the main channel. They start at the same time as us. And the next match on the restream schedule will be on 11 o'clock on ALTTP Randomizer 3.
So any final words, Blastegg?
Well, thanks for watching and see you next race. Bye bye.
Enjoy the day, everyone.